Yeah, you heard the title correctly. The exact same cycle that absolutely destroyed altcoin holders in 2021 is playing out again right now, and most people don't even see it coming. My friend, what I'm about to share with you is the critical connection that you need to understand. And the reason why is because this cycle, this same pattern, is playing out again as we speak, and it's designed to do one thing, and that's take your money. But first, let's get one thing straight. Are we even close to the market top? Well, I want you to have a look at this. This is the Global Macro Investor Cycle Top Finder, and it's correctly signaled every single Bitcoin top in history, and right now it's telling us that we are nowhere near the top. We're just simply miles away from any danger zone compared to previous cycles. And if you need more proof, here are 30 different bull market peak indicators from none other than CoinGlass. How many of these peak indicators have signaled so far? 0. Not a single one. And in my opinion, here's another really good giveaway that no one simply looks at. Guys, NFT transactions. Because this is where a lot of the money likes to flow at the very, very end of a crypto cycle. Look at 2018 and look at 2022. When the whales had so much profit, they just don't know what to do with it. They start gambling on literally digital pitches. It's like the full stop that we need to have at the end of a sentence. It needs to happen and does happen at the end of crypto cycles. That's how we know a cycle has come and gone. But what's happening right now? Well, as we know, as you can see from the chart, NFT volumes are at extreme lows, and NFTs are once again seen as a complete waste of money and a scam. This tells me again, the mania just simply never came or hasn't come so far. So don't feel bad about other people maybe making some gains in crypto. I think this is just the beginning, not the end of an alt season or a bull market. But everything I've just mentioned to you relates to crypto and crypto's internal cycles and metrics. So far, crypto is telling us we have a long way to go. This hasn't been a bull market, at least not compared to other bull markets. And that's saying something for an industry that's gotten, dare I say, at least 10 times more recognition, more sturdy, more cool in general than even the last cycle. But if you think about it, this makes perfect sense as to why we haven't had an alt season, because it's never really about crypto specifically. There's a more important catalyst that we need to be focused on right now. And the answer is, of course, the macro market. It's conditions that we have no control over within crypto. As a matter of fact, we are the most volatile in this world. And I want to just quickly mention this. To cut a long story short, we need mass interest in crypto because we need excess liquidity, and mass interest isn't back because the masses have far more important things to spend their money on right now. And that is exactly why the same destructive cycle is repeating. You're probably even doing it right now without even realizing it. So again, hang in tight because we're going to get to that. But again, I want to draw you back to the bigger picture. I want you to look at this chart. Okay, this chart is BTC to gold. On the left of this chart, at the very start, we have the 2018 to 2021 cycle, and towards the right, we have our current cycle from 2022 all the way through to today. As you can probably see yourself, it is the exact same pattern. You don't have to be a TA expert to see that. The same lows, the same consolidation periods. It looks the exact same, just a little bit longer. We're even in a very similar symmetrical triangle formation right now, which is a continuation pattern, which is a bullish thing in this particular case. This suggests we could possibly go much higher here, at least Bitcoin compared to gold. This is where things get really interesting. Look at what gold did in the last cycle. Now, from 2018 into early 2020, it went on a massive run. And then in August of 2020, it had a huge blow off top at a new all-time high. And then, as you can see from the chart yourself, what happened right after gold topped and started to fall? Money, as it does, rotated. Capital fled away from gold and went directly into Bitcoin, sending Bitcoin parabolic. Basically, investors all around the world, liquidity decided to go risk on. Now, my friend, have a look at our cycle. It's happening again. And that's because gold has been on an absolute tear since late 2022. And just like last time, we're waiting for that peak, that exhaustion, and then that rotation into Bitcoin. And it all actually lines up really perfectly as well with the copper to gold ratio. When gold pulls back, it does signal risk on behavior. What happens is the economy booms, copper then of course booms, and then copper to gold ratio goes parabolic. You can actually see this right here in August of 2020. All right, gold topped, like I said before, and this ratio just simply exploded upwards on the pullback. And this is exactly what we are looking at again here. The stage is set for this to repeat. It's kind of crazy. So, what is the cycle that's destroying everyone? What's the trap that so many people are falling into? Well, I wanted to start by asking you a simple question, and I want you to be very honest here. Have you been feeling FOMO lately? Have you seen the insane pumps happening with the BNB meme coins and feel like you're missing out on something? Have you maybe even watched BNB itself add like $50 billion in market cap in a single month, mind you, and thought, maybe I should just jump on in? Now, if the answer is yes, then you really need to listen to this, because it's FOMO, it's fear, it's greed, and it's something called time capitulation, which are going to get you wrecked. Okay, let me just take one step back. Guys, listen, the market, crypto itself, is designed to suck you in to be someone else's exit liquidity. Look at the same meme coins on BNB now that everyone was racing right into over this last week. They're down 70, 80, 90% even. The money has been extracted in another liquidity rotation, and the latecomers got destroyed yet again. The BNB hype train was yet another narrative, a temporary buzz of excitement that comes and goes in waves in the lead up and during altcoin season. In most cases, altcoin portfolios sit in this like depression or hope phase, doing nothing until it's time for a narrative pump or their narrative pump. Now, it's easy to get bored in this phase. You see another coin or narrative in euphoria, and you choose to chase those green candles, looking for that thrill that some of us saw with BNB and these meme coins. But as we all know from experience at this point, that doesn't last long. And the outcome is usually you being left holding someone else's bags. Because just remember, for one person to make $1 million, you need 100 suckers, I'm going to call us suckers, to lose $10,000 each. Because, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, it's all a game of something called mindshare. You may have heard of it being in crypto. And I want you to think of mindshare as kind of like the market's attention span. Now, right now, a lot of attention is on BNB and the BNB ecosystem, and just simply not on a whole lot of else. But I want you to think of the market kind of like a toddler with the attention span of a goldfish. The attention never stays on one thing for too long, and this is just simply how most people do something called round trip. They try to always entertain the toddler, and by the time they've finally got the toddler's attention span, it's onto something else. Translation, you hardly ever win doing this, and you'll more than likely end up with less money than you started with. Just look at the volume that's flowed into BNB in just the last 7 days. It's insane, but it's addicting, because we're taught, of course, that we should always be making money in crypto. Otherwise, hey, if you're not 2xing this week, Kyron, you're doing something wrong and you should be damn well ashamed of yourself. But while that's a pretty bad thing, and while most people are getting sucked into this cycle already, because I think the alt season, the market's just going to start heating up from here, and this will get more prevalent, there is actually something else. Something that is possibly a bigger killer than FOMO or hype, at least right now anyway, and that is boredom. Boredom is a real killer. Because look, I know almost everyone right now, to some degree at least, is bored out of their minds with at least one coin in their portfolio, maybe even their whole portfolio. So it's tempting to sell. But there's a reason why, if you're in crypto or markets long enough, you'll hear people say, hey, when I sell, when I get out of the coin, it pumps. Why is that? Well, it's a real phenomenon called time capitulation. You just simply lose patience. You give up your well-researched coins because their time hasn't come yet. I want you to look at the Ondo chart on your screen. This is a perfect example of long periods of boring sideways price action where people get bored and then bang, guess what happens? Obviously the price damn well explodes, which just simply surprises everyone who capitulated and sold. But there's a reason, like I said, this actually happened. It's because most people think in a very similar way, and whales know about this and actually how to extract this. So what you actually want to do is fight those emotions in your mind and actually find the coins in this situation where the fundamentals and all the technicals are stacking up for the coin, and maybe the narrative, the niche, is also growing. Maybe it's getting more popular, like AI, for example. But you want to find the coins towards the local lows with no hype, no mind share. It's what's called an asymmetric bet, aka high upside and low downside. Render, ICP, Tau, Flux, Near, Injective, Ondo, Pith, Wormhole, need I go on? All of these coins share this very similar set of characteristics. At this stage in the market, these are the coins you want to focus on as they are laying dormant until alt season, and then they can very quickly wake up and cause absolute chaos, attracting the wave of surfers who are once again always late to the party. This is where a recent tweet of mine actually kind of comes in handy, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you absolutely are making a massive mistake right now, because you should be. It's free. You get insights way before YouTube. What I said is, sit in quality coins that have growing fundamentals which appeal to retail. This is revenue, daily active users, institutional partners, burn mechanisms, TVL, strong narratives, and then just sit and let the money come to you. Let these surfers ride your wave. But what does all that jargon actually mean? Well, it means finding the strong narratives like real-world asset, AI, DePIN, DeFi, gaming, layer ones. Again, you kind of want to think of these like a toddler with the attention span of a goldfish and his favorite toys. Pick his favorite toys, and he's going to want to play with them at some point in time. What you then want to do is find the best projects in those narratives. And that comes from what actually makes the coin unique. Is it its revenue growing? Is its total value locked going up? Does it have an increase in daily active users? Maybe does it have a burn mechanism? Like, is it deflationary, for example? Does it have real institutional partners, not just a logo on its homepage to draw in all of the suckers? Take Ondo's tokenized stocks being recently integrated into Coinbase's base app. Over 10 million monthly active users will soon be able to buy Ondo's tokenized stocks without any difficult processes, without even knowing it's a Ondo product. Because I want you to think about it for a second. Why did you buy the coins that you hold? This is how I was able to reverse engineer what altcoins are likely going to do well. It's because I thought about it. What attracts not the massive institutions, not what attracts someone who knows a lot about crypto and computer science and economics? What attracts the average person or the average crypto YouTuber who can look at something quite simple and go, that makes sense, I want to buy it? I mean, think about it. Was you buying a coin just a simple random gamble because the logo looked pretty? Or was there actual reasons that you thought it was worthy to spend your hard-earned money buying the coin? But with that all being said, now what I want to do is actually zoom out on the entire cycle level, because this will tell us something that's kind of playing out with altcoins right now that may convince you further on why this is a very important topic. Look at this. Millions of new people flow into crypto only during massive parabolic moves in Bitcoin's price. This is when, of course, greed goes off the charts and when short-term holders, which are the new, inexperienced money, buy like crazy. You can even see it actually in the YouTube views as well. All of it just simply screams local top when fresh liquidity comes in. But I want you to take notice of what happens at this exact same time. The long holders, the smart money, they begin to sell. So just like what happens to us who surf the altcoin hype or the flavor of the month or the week, the new crypto buyers are becoming exit liquidity on a larger scale. And it is the cycle that is repeating right now, and it will only get much worse as the gains on different coins and different narratives get a lot more, and your coins maybe don't have their time right now, and so they're just kind of moving sideways, maybe generally trending up, and you are getting absolutely bored, you're getting FOMO, and then you make silly decisions. I think sticking to your guns, doing research, finding the quality projects, and being patient goes a long way. But let me know what you think down below. Alt season, no alt season, let's have a good discussion. Oh, and just remember as well, if you got any value from this video, a like does go a long way, and I sincerely appreciate it. If you want more of this no nonsense, no BS, straight to the point crypto alpha, check out our level 0 down below. It is free to join. Again, no strings attached. You get access to a whole bunch of awesome features in there. Matter of fact, other communities charge you $100 a month for this access. Check it out. I know you'd be happy to be in there. And again, it's free. So take good care of yourselves. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.